Hi Flosstube, it's April.may.june.stitcher Stitcher here. I'm just doing my second video, which I can't believe. I thought my first video was such a disaster, but I've had such a lovely reception after my first one. I can't quite believe it. And I'd just like to say thank you to everybody for the really kind messages that you took the time to leave. I have tried to like every single one of them and to reply to as many as I can, but it's just a little bit overwhelming actually that I've had such lovely comments, and I find it quite hard to have sympathy, to be given sympathy. So I was, after the first couple of days after I uploaded my video, I was in bits because of just all the lovely messages that I'd had. And I'd just like to say an extra special thank you to Felicity for giving me a shout out on Instagram and Facebook. I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't believe it, and I'm not being insincere when I say that. I really do appreciate that everybody has taken their time to just watch my rambly video. Again, this will be another rambly video. I'm really nervous doing these videos, and it feels very strange just talking to my iPad. I was watching Primitive Stitcher today, and she said it does get easier, but I don't know whether it will. Anyway, I've got a few updates for you, but nothing major really. I haven't been able to do any stitching at all last week. It was only until yesterday that I was able to sit down and do some stitching. So here we go. It was the 2 sales that started on the 1st of September that I wanted to join in, and this is the first one. It was Needles and Pins, the Facebook group that was set up for this, and I started on the 1st of September, but I didn't get very far because I wanted to concentrate on my other one. But I'll just show you how far I got. It's just the roof of the house, and that is all. This is done on 40 count Verdal. I'm still not sure how you say that, and I've dyed it myself because it's bright white, this fabric, but I'm quite pleased with how it turned out. It's like a B5200 white. It's really white, and it's not all natural fabric, so I'm really pleased with how that did take the dye. This is the other one I've been working on since my last video. This started on the 1st of September as well. This is Little House Needleworks Acorn Hill. This is how far I've got. I'm really quite pleased with how far I've managed to get on this. I've made a few changes. I did start to put in the little white fence, but it just looked awful with the white. My stitches didn't look neat and tidy at all, so I just ripped it out, and then I'm doing a plain house. This colour down here is, what does it ask for? Because I'm doing the Gentle Art, not the silks, and it called for brown sugar, which that is, and then this bit down here called for a darker thread, and that was bramble bush. But when I stitched it up, because it's variegated, it had the light parts in it as well, and it just looked exactly the same as the hickory sticks, not the hickory sticks, brown sugar. So I swapped this to dark chocolate, and I really quite like the contrast of that. And then the house is supposed to be the same colour as the words, but I just wanted something a little richer, so I am doing the house in bramble bush, I think. Yeah, bramble bush, which is actually the colour that the darker one should be. Have I made any sense there? But yeah, hopefully you'll understand. So I've just switched things up a little bit, and I did actually use 2 different coloured oranges there. I've used copper penny, which is what the pattern calls for, but then I've also used pumpkin. Have I used pumpkin? Let me have a look. Yeah, pumpkin harvest. I really liked that orange. So that's the orange that's in this in the letters here, and then just this middle one. And I just quite liked the variation of that. So that's it for my sales that I did. WIPs that I've worked on, I've only managed to work on 1, and if you've seen my Instagram you'll know. It's the sweetheart tree in the pocket of a butterfly. When I showed all my WIPs on my first video, I was telling you about all the terrible trouble I had with this one corner, and I did rip it out again because it was half a stitch over, and I started to redo it and I'd gone too far up, so it clashed, so I ripped it all out again. That was the 4th go then, I think, and then it was only until the 5th time that I managed to actually get it right. So I'm really pleased with how it looks. I know it's only little and it looks really ridiculous, but it was really hard. I've started to bead, and there's just a blue border that goes round the outside, but my hoop is too small for me to be able to do all of it, so I'm going to sew on the rest of the beads and then move it over to my Q-snap, and then I should be able to do the blue border. And then I've got a picture frame that this should fit in, so hopefully I'll be able to finish it tonight. And then so that's it for my WIP updates. Now I know everybody doesn't like haul videos or haul segments. I don't really like the word haul either, but I have been doing quite a lot of shopping this month, only because there seems to have been sales on everywhere. I did go a little bit crazy, so if you don't want to watch anymore, if you don't want to watch my haul stuff I've bought this month, then I'd switch off now. Hands Across the Sea samplers released a new sampler this month called Jennifer Gilbert 1818, and as soon as Nicola Parkman posted this, I was just, oh, I've got to have that, so I ordered it and it was delivered, and it's very beautiful. Now I can't remember if I bought these before or after my first video, but I'll show you them anyway. This is the bee sampler from Lila's studio. I've got a bit of a thing for bees, so I really liked this. I thought it was really pretty. Another one from Lila's studio. This is called Flower Patch 2, and I really liked the colours of this. Now it does list on the back the colours to use, but I had ordered some silk from Silks For You off Etsy, but then she'd also got some packs of 10 of dinky dyes that she'd got in stock after she sold the company, so I had a random selection, and I must have just had the blue selection because there was about five skeins of blue. And I'm going to hopefully be able to use 4 of them in this, and that's how I think I'm going to do this chart. Just do a random mix of colours that I think complement each other rather than the suggested colours, which I find quite hard to do, but hopefully I'll be alright and I should have confidence in myself. I've also bought Let Freedom Ring by Lila Studio again. This pattern has absolutely driven me nuts for months and months, probably ever since it came out. I really wanted it, but I couldn't think of a reason enough for me to buy it, not being American, and very much the patriotic type that it is. But then I just thought, oh, do you know what, I absolutely love it, so why the bloody hell not? So I bought it, and it's a beautiful pattern. Then So and So had a sale on, and this one has been in my wish list for quite a while. And it's Autumn on Lazy Bear Mountain. Now this, I think, was on their website for something like £30, and I just couldn't justify paying £30 for a pattern. And then it was in the sale for £10, so I had it, and I think it's great. I really look forward to doing that sometime in the future. So and So, at the same time as I bought Autumn on Lazy Bear Mountain, I bought Bear Tree Forest by Little House Needleworks, and I thought this was really sweet, and it was about £4 or £4 or £5, so I thought I'll just have that to add to my stash. And then I also bought New England Winter Sampler, also by Little House Needleworks. I really quite like that as well, and that was £4 or £5 from So and So as well. And then this one, Holly and Hearts Mystery Sampler by Lizzie Kate. I don't know when this was originally done, but in the sale was part 3, and I did want to get it. So I decided to just at least get part 3 reduced. I think it was about £3, I can't remember, and then I'll just get the other 2 when I'm ready. Then so that was the first order from So and So, and then I watched a few videos by somebody else, and I can't remember who it was, and they said they'd bought some, no, somebody had made a comment on my first video, and they said, oh, they'd managed to get some fabric from So and So, mostly pinks and purples, and I was thinking, oh, they must be a quilter, you know. I'd seen the fabric on there in the sale, but it didn't click until I watched Jay's video, Mortuary Stitcher, that she'd picked up some linen from So and So in the sale, some purple and pink blue, I can't remember, that I went to have a look, and I realised, because it was quite difficult to search, all the fabric was all together, and then I had a look, and a lot of their linen was really reduced, so I haven't got a lot of fabric really, but I have now. And yeah, I did buy quite a lot, and this is all very neutral fabric, but I will be able to dye it. So I bought some 40 count Newcastle in platinum. Now this is 39 by 55 inches, and it was just under £20, and it was cheaper to buy this than it was half the size, so I thought, why not? Then I bought 32 count Belfast granite. This was £17.87, and again that's the same size, 39 by 55. And I love this stuff, I think it's really cute. That's the cat. some 36 count natural with white spot, 19 by 55 inches, and this was £10. I've written all the prices on, so I don't know why. And then I bought some 36 count Edinburgh summer khaki, 19 by 55 again. And then I bought some 32 count Belfast linen in limestone, 39 by 55, and this was £22.69. And then this one, it's almost like I bought a table runner, because I'm not sure if you can see this line here. I'm not sure what this setup is at all, but this was 18 by 78 inches, and it was £16.55. I was really pleased. I know I spent a lot of money on the fabric, but it's at least something I will use. It's all the colours that are easily dyeable, and colours that I know I like. So, and at least I've got enough now that if I want to kit up some of my charts that I've got, I can do without having to place another order on so and so. And then I went back to so and so about a week later to pick up some more charts that were in the sale. Now this one is Courtney Collection Mystic. I've got the prices of these because I've kept the little delivery note. I'm not even sure what really this is going on. I know it's a woman's face, but I don't know the story behind this sampler. I would have loved to have got Nightmare or Mermaid's Folly, but I've never been able to get those patterns. I even emailed the man himself and I've had no reply. I don't do well with US sites at all, and this one was £2.72, so I thought I have to have that. This is Honeysuckle Hill sampler by the Victoria sampler. This one was £2.72. I think it's really pretty. That's all I've really got to say about that one. I couldn't leave it for £2.72. This one is called Antique Flower Sampler by Elizabeth's Needlework Designs, and this one was £3.08. I've been after a pattern that has got daffodils in it because that was one of my mum's favourite flowers, and I've wanted to do something with daffodils, so I thought I'll get this and see what it looks like. Then I bought this little tiny pattern by Little East Designs, and it's called Dragonfly 3. I presume there's a 1 and 2 as well, and it comes with the specialty threads and the charm, but you need to buy the DMC, and I have actually got a piece of fabric, the called for fabric actually, in my stock. And that was £4.78. And then the last one I got was a Victorian band sampler by Victoria Sampler. Yeah, Victorian band sampler by the Victoria Sampler. I think this is really pretty. And then also in the sale were the threads for it. I've already broken it up. And this original price was £50 because it's all silk and all the rest of it. And I haven't really got, other than some dinky dyes, I haven't got much in the way of silks, and I thought this was a great way. This was £10 in the sale, and then the pattern was something like £8. No, it wasn't, it was more than that, it was like £13 I think. But for me to be able to do something that I really like in silk, I thought that was the best way for me to buy it. Yeah, I was really pleased with that. All those were not enough, apparently. What's this? I went to Creative Poppy and I downloaded Barbara Designs Sadie Wood sampler. I think this is really pretty. I've looked at this for a while. I quite like the butterfly on there. And because you can't just buy one, you have to buy two, I also picked up my favourite apron by Barbara Designs as well. I think this is really pretty, and this calls for some variegated threads, but I think I'm going to have a go with the DMC variations. This pattern does call for some DMC variations as well, but some of the motifs around here are called for Gentle Arts, I think. Is it Gentle Arts? No, Valdani, which they're about £3 or £4 on So and So, and I just don't want to pay that much, and I hear they're not very nice to stitch with, so I'm just going to give it a go, and if I don't like it, then I might think about picking up the Valdani threads. There was a new release from the Primitive Hair called a Hocus Pocus Cabinet, so I got that as well. I also picked up from Casa Sanina, is that how you say it? This one, the Stitcherhood, sorry, Enchanted. I thought that was quite pretty. Then I picked up another bee sampler, and this is Westminster Designs, the Beehive sampler. I really liked that one. It's got a proper, oh no it's not, I thought it was a proper photo, but it's just a photocopy of a photo, and you can't really see that, but I think it looks pretty. I went to my local needlework shop, which is about an hour away on the other side of the city where I live, and I just picked up a few bits from there along with a few patterns. And I picked up Snowbound by Bent Creek. She's actually got this stitched up and it looks really cute. She's copied the frame as well and done the little dots on it, so I'd quite like to do that. I also picked up Snowflake Serenade by Country Cottage Needleworks. She's also got this stitched up and framed, and it looks really pretty. So that's why I wanted to do that one as well. And then I also managed to pick up Elizabeth Milner by Shakespeare's Peddler, 1848, sorry, and it's quite a faint picture on there. You can't really see, but I did pull some of the colours, and I bought some fabric for this one, and it's just a natural, but God, are you going to even be able to see that? The colours are a little bit lost. There's another green as well, which I haven't got in my DMC collection. It does call for variegated thread, Gentle Arts variegated thread, but I wanted to do it in the DMC. But when I pulled the colours, I was a little bit, they're just a bit boring. So I think I'm going to brighten up some of the colours and look for something that's a little bit richer. Only a few colours, but yeah, I think that's what I'd quite like to do. And then last but not least, but this is also something I want to stitch for next month in October. This is by Wickedly Wonderful Stitches, and it's called Witch's Walk, and it's only a tiny design. Well, I think that's really cool. Now this is actually done on hand painted fabric, So I pulled out a little piece of fabric from my stash, and I got my Inktense pencils, and I literally drew it on and painted it up, and I'm quite pleased with the way that's turned out. Once I've stitched it, / if I stitch it, I will go back in and just darken it up because it looks a little bit bright. Something else that has come this month is the Lizzie Kate mystery sampler, Christmas mystery sampler. I'm not going to start this yet, but I'm sure people have seen it already, and I know a lot of people are working on it on the group on Facebook, and it looks really pretty actually. I've got the fabric and all of the buttons and called for threads, but that costs £50 for the fabric, the thread, the embellishments, that's the word, and the first pattern, £50. It is nice though, and I think it'll look lovely when it's all stitched up. This is my cat Lila, who she doesn't like. She's not very friendly, but she's lovely. She doesn't like to be picked up either, and generally looks annoyed or very sad. Stitching for next month, I'd like to do some Halloweeny type stitching, and along with the Witch's Walk, I'd also like to do this one, which is also by Wickedly Wonderful Stitches, and this is called Eternal Love. Again, this is only a very small design, but I love this Dracula and his bird. Yeah, I think they're really cute. And I'd also like to really crack on with Garden of Eerie. I showed this in my WIPs, and I'd only done Frankenstein and a little bit of the tree, so I'd really love to be able to get a good chunk of this done, if not being able to do it all. Yeah, so that's all my plans for October. I'd love to be able to do this video in one go, but I think it'll just be lots of little clips put together again. I find it quite hard without going rustle. Yeah, so I think that's about it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.